Okay, welcome back. We are in Unit 3, and we're talking about history of the puzzle. In other words, history of cognitive psychology. In this particular part, which is Unit 3.1, we're going to talk about a very brief history. 1879 to 1960. 1879 is when um, we consider 1879 as the birth year of psychology and 1960 as the birth year of cognitive psychology. If you're looking at the brief history, what changed from here to here? That's what we'll talk about in this particular section. So, according to Ebbinghaus, was a very well-known memory researcher, he said that psychology has a long history, but only recent past. The idea here is that historically people were interested, even philosophers and before the people in general were interested in human mind, how we do what we do, why we do what we do. We were interested in human behavior in that sense. That's what the has long history refers to. Only recent past refers to the idea that only recently did we start adapting scientific methods to study human mind. So, in that sense, psychology has a long history, but only recently that we started using scientific methods. So, we'll talk about what changes happened to psychology as a field once after we started utilizing scientific methods to study human mind. And that's what we'll do in the next slide. Okay, there's only one outcome for this particular video, and it is to know the brief history. And that's what we'll do in the next slide. Okay, so to understand at a very, very basic level, to get a brief idea of the history of cognitive psychology, it's better to start with talk about three important perspectives or three important fields of psychology at three different points in history. The first one being structuralism, the second one is behaviorism, and the third one is cognitive psychology. And in this particular slide, I'll talk about how these three things, especially cognitive psychology, emerge from the earlier existing ones, and how there is this narrative that we will explore more in the subsequent sections of this particular unit. So structuralism, it was the very first perspective of psychology. Now, it was founded by, and again, we'll talk about it in a different video, Wilhelm Wundt, a German psychologist. Now, he is considered as the father of psychology in general because of his contributions and also because he established the first psychological laboratory in Leipzig, Germany. 1879. And that's when we assume first people started studying a human mind scientifically. And what he was interested in was knowing the conscious experience. Somewhere it says Wundt was a daydreamer and he would just in a class daydream. Now, daydreaming is like consciously experiencing something that is not important at a given point of time. That's what daydreaming refers to. And it is evident, obvious that why he would be interested in that was a joke, conscious experience. So he was interested in conscious experience. He wanted to understand the structure of the conscious experience, hence the name structuralism. So he was interested in mind or internal behavior. Okay. And the way or the methodology he adapted is called introspection.